Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to build another portfolio website, and I know I've built quite a few, but today I'm going to try and make it as unique as possible because I kind of woke up feeling super creative for some reason, and I really want to unleash all of this creative energy that I have. So I've kind of given myself 2 hours. It's now 8:36 in Berlin, and I'm going to give myself until 10:30 p.m. So 2 hours to design, ideate, code it out, and hopefully have it deployed somewhere so that you guys can test it out as well. Maybe we'll build something that's really, really cool. Maybe we'll build something that's totally stupid and a disaster. I really don't know what this 2 hours is going to bring us, but I'm excited to find out. So you know what? Let's just get started. All right. So first things first, I'm going to start with planning, which is the most important part of any project. And I'm going to use FigJam, which is my new current favorite tool to use. We're going to try and plan out what exactly is going to go in my portfolio website. The first step is to figure out what goes in my website, what are the different sections that I want. Another thing that I need to know is color palette, because that's pretty important to me. Concept. And when I say concept, I mean something about what makes this portfolio website unique. To answer this question, I think I'm gonna need some help from AI. So I'm gonna open up Chat LLM, which is my current favorite tool when it comes to accessing different AI models, because every time I use Chat LLM, I can just access any model here. I write my prompt. I usually start off by telling the model what it should behave as. So you are my personal assistant who is going to help me create a portfolio website. You will first discuss with me and help me figure out what sections go in my portfolio website. All right, so it says that there would be a hero landing page, a project section, about, tech stack, and contact. I don't care about the about me sections. So I kind of just want there to be a hero section, projects, and tech stack / skills. So let's bring this forward. I know I want these three things in my website, but what is going to make my website unique? To try and be as creative as possible, I'm going to use AI's help for this. I'm going to tell it I want to create a super unique portfolio website concept. Come up with 5 random categories I can gain inspiration from. So first is vintage arcade games. Love that. That is quite interesting. Another is marine biology, deep sea exploration, mission control centers. Wait, this actually sounds really, really cool. NASA style dashboards. Wait, this is really cool. Like a space mission control center. Okay, let's Google this. So space mission control centers. What comes up with this? Okay, so it's just a lot of screens. Okay, seems like a lot of this mission control screens have 3 different screens. Like that seems to be a very common pattern. So what I'm thinking of is that it would be really cool if, let's say, our website that I'm going to try and draw out here. So let's assume this is the browser, okay, because we're building a web page. Then we could get an AI generated image that looks something like this. So let's make it really big. And then we could have 3 buttons, just a concept, okay? Just stay with me. This is just a concept. So this one could be me, which is, this could be project. And this one could be, what was the third thing we want? Tech stack or skills. Actually, I don't think I care about tech skills. So I do just care about me and the projects. And then when I talk about the projects can include the tech stack and the skills. So under projects, we could have information like what is the tech stack that is used in the project. We could give what is the project about, and then how did I build it. So when I talk about different projects, these could be the 3 things: tech skills, what is the project about, and how did I build it. With that, I just need a main page. Do I even need a hero section? Maybe I don't need a hero section. If we're building a portfolio website, it just needs to include my projects, right? We could have multiple buttons here that would just be about different projects. I have a good idea. A lot of the space control dashboards that we saw have 3 screens. So they have a screen here, another screen here, and some smaller screens. So we could make use of that, and let's build like the first one will be what is the project about. So that can be one monitor screen. And then we could have another one, which is how I built it. And then a third, slightly smaller, about the tech stack. And these will be 3 monitor screens. This is a pretty good concept. I think we could make it work. Okay, so now the next step is gonna be for me to, let's go back to Chat LLM and let's try and verbalize what is the concept that I'm thinking of. And the reason why I want to verbalize it is because I want the AI to come up with a prompt that I could then use to come up with the design, because I don't want to try and design it myself. I'm going to try and use AI as much as possible. Let's take a screenshot of this. Okay, let's upload the screenshot here. I want to use AI to help me design this. Cool. So it came up with the main design prompt, which is to design a futuristic space mission control center interface. I'm happy with that. Layout elements. And then they also came up with specific component prompts. Cool. This is good. Oh my God, sometimes I really think, how did I ever survive pre-LLMs? How did I get anything done before AI came into my life? It's insane how much and how reliant I am on them in my life right now. But with so many AI models out there and different models being useful for different things, you need tools like Chat LLM, which I'm using right now and who are also sponsors of this video. The thing I love about them is that you have access to so many different AI models, whether it's GPT-5, Claude Sonnet 3.5, GPT 4.1, 4.0, which I think is one of their best models out there. And you have access to all of these in just one tool. And Chat LLM is super affordable as well. You can probably get access to Chat LLM at a lower cost than how much you would pay for these individual models. So I don't know what you're waiting for. Definitely check them out in the link in the description box below. I've been using them almost every single day. I'm always very happy using them. Now that we have this, I'm going to run to my current favorite design tool, which is Stitch by Google. Oh, interesting. Someone wants to create a profile page for Formula 1 driver Max Verstappen. Anyway, so let's go back to Chat LLM. And Chat LLM came up with this design prompt that I'm going to copy. So let's copy everything. And I'm going to paste it here. I do want a web, so I'm going to go for the web option. I don't have the option to upload something because I'm on the free plan. But we're going to generate the design and then see what it comes up with. The last time I used Stitch was for a mobile app, which maybe you guys saw the video already. I had such a good time using it. Previously, I used to use Visly AI, which looks like this. And Visly AI was super hit or miss. Sometimes the kind of stuff that it would come up with was so aesthetic. And other times it would just come up with pure rubbish. So I really hope Stitch is a lot better. They were acquired by Google, which means they're probably really, really good. Okay, what they came up with looks like an actual website, which, okay, fair enough, this is how websites actually look. But I want to create something that is super unique. That probably means that I can't use traditional AI tools because traditional AI tools are probably trained on top of generic websites. So it's just going to try and come up with a generic website, which is not what I want. Should I just build it without an actual design, like just with this concept? You know what? The first step is going to be to try and create the background of our website. So the background of the web page, which will include control buttons. Hopefully when you see it, it makes sense. I'm going to ask the same Claude model that we've been talking to come up with a prompt. I can input into an image generation model to generate the background of my web. The image should also include, we're going to use Midjourney. Midjourney is pretty good, right? Should I just use Midjourney? Yeah, let's go ahead with that. And I'm going to go for the latest version. And then we're going to try and generate the image. So it's now generating. Let's see how long it takes. Oh my God, this took me so much longer than I thought it would. But I'm actually really happy with the way that it turns out. Let me show you what we went through to get this working. I asked Midjourney to generate quite a few images. So it kept generating things with human in it. So I kept having to modify my prompts so that it would know what exactly I want. And I wanted the screens to look a little bigger. I wanted the control panel to have more buttons. I had a vision in my head. It took me a while to explain it to Midjourney, and it still would come up with random images. I did not want a top view, but it would still come up with that. And then eventually I got it to come up with something that looks pretty decent, where I think the screen size, alright, quite big. So this 3 monitors could be where we display information about our projects. I wanted empty space here. Because I couldn't get it to come up with the exact buttons that I wanted, I thought maybe that's something I can just create it myself. So I have this background image, and then what I wanted was pixel buttons. Something that looks like buttons that the user who lands on my website would actually be able to click through. If the user clicks on this button, then hopefully it would open a different project. And if they click on different buttons, it would just open up different projects. So that's pretty cool. And then I tried to get it to overlay the second image on top of the first image, which didn't quite work. So then what I ended up doing was just going to FigJam, paste the original image, paste the buttons that we came up with, modify it so it looks different, and then I made it bigger. And this more or less looks like the home screen that I came up with. So if this is the home screen, then let's say the user clicks on this blue button. I would ideally want this monitor screen to talk about the project. It's 9:39 now. We only have an hour to code this out. The only thing I want to try and get working is the ability to click these buttons, because this is going to be images, so we're going to have to find a way to overlay on top of the buttons to make them clickable. And if they click on different buttons, it would open up different projects on these monitors. Let's try and get that functionality working. I think I'm going to start off with dummy projects first, so not actual projects that I have built. I just want to try it out, test it with some dummy projects, and then see how it works. Okay, but now is actually the fun part, because we're going to start coding. And to code it, I'm using Cursor as my IDE, but I think I'm just going to use Claude Code to actually help vibe code this out. I've been testing Claude Code for a while, and I've also been using Cursor for a while before that, and I just find Claude Code so much better than Cursor. It just understands the context of the entire repository so much better. Okay, it's 9:47 now, so we have how much? 40 more minutes? Not a lot of time. Do I want to create a projects JSON? Yes, I do. Okay, in the meanwhile, while this is coding it for us and vibing away, we are going to save this as a background image, copy as PNG, and this is going to be our background image. It's a bit blurry, but let's see. Okay, this is what it came up with, which looks kind of nothing like what I had put in. I mean, it got the job done in the sense that it does look like a portfolio website, but it's not what I wanted. So that's okay. Let's just try to tell it again what I want to build. It has come up with the first iteration, and it does not look well aligned. So if I make this bigger, these monitor screens that we have overlaid do not align with the background monitor screens. So I'm trying to get Claude Code to fix this for me, but I don't think it can do that. So I might have to fine tune it myself. Okay, let's go to the styles file, and in this they have the monitor section. Let's try and not care about responsiveness for now, and let's just try and make it working. This is how the screen looks. I think the 3 monitors are actually all different sizes, so that's probably a problem. We're gonna have to manually do quite a bit of this, which is a little irritating. Yeah, see, so you kind of still need to understand code when trying to build this out, because I don't think I would have been able to know what to change if I didn't know how to code at all. So now we have all of the different positions. Perfect. All right, it looks pretty okay. Yeah, it doesn't match entirely, but it looks kind of okay, right? Okay, cool. We have the monitors. Of course, it's not responsive, so if I move it around, it doesn't fix. Let's try to see if Claude can come up with a way to make it responsive. Okay, but it's already 10, so I have half an hour. I don't know if I should care about making it responsive right now, or just make it look okay on my screen, and then maybe I can come back to make it responsive next time. Yeah, maybe we do that. I don't think there's going to be any way to make it responsive, because we're trying to align something that's code to something that's not code, which is the background. So maybe the only way to make it responsive is if I were to generate this background myself. Okay, we don't have time for that, so let's not make it responsive for now. We still need to add the buttons here, so let's add that. All right, so now it's gonna update the control panel to use the actual image, as the background, and then add invisible clickable areas, which is what we need. It's called invisible clickable areas because you need to add actual buttons that the user can then click and bring them to different projects. Okay, we have 22 more minutes. Okay, we actually built this. Okay, what has it come up with? Okay, I don't want it at the top. I want it at the bottom. Okay, now it's at the bottom, but it's not clickable. Nothing is clickable. What is it doing? Currently, this is a super basic website, right? Like we just have a JS file, and then we have a HTML file and CSS. That's it. There is no framework involved in this. What is it doing? So apparently, my browser is blocking from loading the projects.json file. So that's why it wants me to serve it with Python. But I'm just gonna run. Okay, let's just run our node, and we open it on localhost 3000. Oh, cool! We have a few buttons here which show projects. Now, okay, we're 15 minutes and there's clearly problems to solve, right? Because, okay, fine, the buttons work so we can iterate through different projects, but the size of the text is incredibly small. I need much bigger text, and the buttons need to look like the control panel button. I'm going to try and fix the text first. Oh, it would be really cool to add animation. So because this is going to be like a space theme, so it would also be cool if when the monitors actually load the project details, they load it in a typing format, like the code is being typed. Okay, it goes through different projects. The text size is still really, really small, but you know what? Let's just fix that ourselves. I think it's so much faster if I just go in there and change the code myself rather than tell Claude to change it to fix it. So monitor content, and then we need a text font size. Let's make it 2. Okay, this is monitor content P. Okay, much bigger, nice. And then they go on here. Yeah, looks nice and big. Okay guys, it's time. We just have 9 more minutes and I'm gonna try and see how much I can get done in just 9 minutes. But I have currently aligned the monitors to fit the screen and also modified the text. So all that looks pretty decent, I think. And then the next step is to make sure that the buttons actually look good. So now I've asked Claude to maybe, instead of using this control image, like the image of the control panel buttons, what if we just create the buttons using code? So create red buttons, blue buttons, and all those type of things. Oh, this is what it came up with. You know what? Doesn't look that bad. It really doesn't look that bad. Can you make the control panel button layout look cooler, like an actual space control button panel? I don't know if it understands what it means, but okay, let's hope it does. Okay, 7 more minutes. It's now 10:29, so we have 1 more minute, and this is what it looks like for a 2-hour task. And just to build something for fun, I'm quite happy with what we came up with. I think it looks really, really cool. And I really like the idea. And of course, I haven't deployed this, so it's not a proper website because you guys cannot really use it. I just have it on my local host right now. Because it's not responsive, I don't want to deploy it yet. If you guys have different monitor screens, it's going to look really ugly on your screen. And I don't want that. So I need to figure out a way to solve this responsive behavior. Once I do, then I'll be able to actually deploy it. I might upload this to GitHub so that you guys can at least check out the code yourself, maybe run it locally. If you find a way to fix the responsiveness in a really smart manner, let me know in the comments down below. And definitely check out Chat LLM because it's a great tool, especially if you're used to using multiple different AI models. It's super affordable, really worth it, and I genuinely like using them a lot. So check them out in the link in the description box below. From this random fig jam board 2 hours ago where we just had what goes in my website and random images and then had this vision to have now come up with this, like a pretty decent portfolio site. And it looks different than a regular portfolio site. It would also be cool to add sound effects. Like it looks like you're in a space station when you click on different control buttons. I also want to improve the control buttons because I don't think they look that nice right now. They could definitely look a lot nicer, but this was way better than trying to make it work with the overlay image because clearly the overlay control buttons didn't work properly. So you know what? I'm not unhappy with it. Let me know below what you think of this project, whether you like this more or did you like my previous video, which was where I tried to recreate the Chrome browser on a website. Let me know which idea is better. I kind of like this one a lot more. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.